Hey Ravens, welcome to ONW Now. I'm Ben Whitney alongside Riley Kramer.
In today's show, we will talk about fun Christmas events in Olathe, the importance of a certified trainer to get in shape after the holidays, and a girl at Olathe Northwest with a very special talent. We have a lot for the show today, so let's get started. Holiday spirit abounds at the Country Club Plaza during the season of lights. Let's take it to Jacob Kaufman for more details.
Every year during the holiday season, the buildings of the Country Club Plaza have lit up in a spectacular display.
These lights stay on all the way through mid-January.
Along with the lights, visitors to the plaza can find shopping, food, sleigh rides, Santa Claus, and many musicians, like Amber Lattimore, whose vibrant violin has sent sweet strains down the streets for 15 years.
Usually, now I just come down just during the winter, and I just like making everybody happy for Christmas.
Aside from playing her music, Amber shares her favorite part of the holidays at the plaza.
I'd say watching people be with their families. Family time, you'll see friends together, you'll see family together, and I think that's like the most special thing to watch.
Families at the plaza can take a ride on the many carriages operating during the holiday season. Though the lines may be long, patient groups can enjoy a fun ride through the district, accompanied by the clip-clop of their horses' hooves. Like the Carlton family, who are bringing their son Tanner on his first ride.
You gonna ride a horse? You gonna ride the carriage?
Yes.
If it's a fun time with friends and family, and a great holiday spirit you're looking for, the season of lights at the Country Club Plaza is where you should be. For ONW Now, this has been Jacob Kaufman. Now back to the desk.
The annual Mayor's Christmas Tree Lighting Ceremony kicks off the beginning of the holidays in Olathe. Demma Matthews and Riley covered the story.
I'm Demma Matthews here at the 2017 Olathe Winterfest, where they're fundraising money for the Mayor's Christmas Tree Fund. Let's go check it out.
Mayor's Christmas Tree Fund is a way of helping kids with basic needs in the whole of Olathe. There's 16 different agencies this year that were chosen that had specific plans to take care of basic needs, even shoes, food, clothing, school supplies. And the generous people of Olathe have pulled together to raise over $80,000 last year, over $1 million over the last decade, and this year we're shooting for $165,000 at least. We'd love to blow through that goal, and the folks are helping us out right now. We're over $80,000, almost $85,000, and we've got to the end of the year to raise funds to help these kids.
Along with the lighting ceremony, choirs performed popular Christmas songs. Kids were able to play games and make crafts.
I've went all the way around. I've got some candy and some word puzzles though.
What's your favorite thing that you've done so far?
The reindeer hat.
And you can't forget about your favorite man, Santa Claus. I'm Demma Matthews. Now back to you guys.
My nails are too short.
99.7 The Point holds an annual Christmas choir competition between Kansas high schools. The Olathe Northwest Da Capo Choir got the chance to take part in the competition this year. We'll send it to Adam Cook to find out more.
Here at 99.7 The Point, a yearly Christmas choir competition is held between the competing Kansas schools. The grand prize, $5,000. 2 years ago, Olathe Northwest Da Capo Choir took home the grand prize. This year, I sat down with Logan Fry and Mandy Merritt to learn more about this year's competition.
Every year, 99.7 The Point has a Christmas competition, and basically a bunch of schools can submit their songs, and then they will pick what their top 8 are. After those top 8 are picked, then it's up to the public to vote for who they think is best. If you get enough votes, then you move on to the next round.
This year, the choir did all they could to get as many votes as possible.
Well, we're sharing the link on various social medias and sending it to family members and just friends and stuff and trying to get people to vote.
But unfortunately, ONW came up short this year.
This year we didn't make it past, and whether that be for our lack of readiness, but or just a lack of votes. But we tried, and we can only learn from it here.
It was still a huge honor to be selected as part of the competition.
So they basically pick the top 8 of all the schools that submit, and that's all the high schools in the area, and Shawnee Mission, Blue Valley, and Olathe, and they pick the top 8 schools, which were the top 8 songs, and they put them up for public voting. So that means that your song was good enough to be put on the radio. So we were on the radio for a couple of days for the public to vote for us. So that was a really cool honor, yeah.
Though DeCapo couldn't come away with the money, the competition helped the choir grow.
Well, it's really fun, like, when we have kind of a goal, like, obviously the goal is to win. That motivates all of us a lot more, and we just work really hard as a team, and it's just a lot of fun having, you know, something to work for, and just, like, kind of the anticipation of seeing who's going to win is super fun. Gets everyone in the holiday spirit.
The ONW DeCapo choir has a bright outlook for next year.
It's cool because most of our DeCapo right now is actually juniors, and so they know what to expect, and they know to be ready to make sure that we can win that extra money to support our choir department. And I think they'll do great.
But in the meantime, the choir will continue to enjoy each other's company, competition winners or not.
In choir, you're a family, and in choir, you learn together, and you joke together, and you experience like such amazing musical happenings together, because when you're all singing a song and you practice it for a long time, in the end you hear this final product, you realize that it's everything, all this work has been so worth it. Like nothing else could probably top that. It's so accomplishing.
For ONW Now, this has been Adam Cook. Now back to the desk.
For half a century, a local Boy Scout troop has been selling Christmas trees to families all across the area. Let's take it to Jacob Guernsey, Tessa Hunt, and James Riddle for the story.
Imagine having to wake up 9 o'clock in the morning, come to a tree lot instead of eating breakfast and watching cartoons, and selling and staking trees. Well, that's a reality for some scouts in Troop 199. For 56 years, the Boy Scouts of Troop 199 have been selling Christmas trees all around the state.
We got about 1,500 trees every time we started each year and sell them within 3 weeks.
This annual fundraiser is a huge financial benefit to the Scouts.
Well, it benefits all the Boy Scouts basically in the troop, so whatever funds we raise, and it is our only fundraiser throughout the year, so whatever funds we raise, most of those funds go directly to benefit the Scouts in some fashion.
The trees we sell all go to our Scout account, which will help pay for our campouts and the bigger campouts and our high adventures that we go on to.
But not only is it a financial benefit, it's also a social benefit, providing skills for the Scouts.
It benefits like your social skills and talking to people that you don't know, but you like know what they're looking for.
Well, I think it gives them somewhat of a little sense of purpose. I think around the holidays, it's kind of nice to be part of everybody else's Christmas spirit.
For Tessa Hunt and James Riddle, this has been Jacob Guernsey. Now, back to the desk.
Who knew penguins could live in Kansas? Well, they can live in a zoo. Here in Olathe, Polly's Penguin Playground is a must-see attraction, bringing a new meaning to the holiday season.
Nearly 102 million Americans say that decorating for the holiday season is one of their favorite things to do. Here at Polly's Penguin Playground, Paul Craig goes above and beyond to deck his house out with Christmas decorations, all for a good cause.
10 years ago, Paul Craig started to take donations at his house to raise money for the Leukemia Lymphoma Society after his mom passed away from the disease in 1999. He never thought of the impact his inflatables could have on the community during the holiday season.
Seriously, it's been wonderful being able to see the folks come through, walk through my yard every night and hear the kids scream and yell when we turn on the snow and they run through. And you've got families that have basically turned it into a family tradition now, and they count on it every year. And I've actually had some kids say, well, I came when I was like 12 and 13 and now I'm bringing my kids. And that's kind of cool to know that the family traditions are carrying on and they're having fun.
With an estimated 175 inflatables, Paul has to start preparing a month in advance. With the help of his friends, he gets the inflatables up just in time for the holidays.
It makes me feel where I can appreciate the holidays again and actually have fun with them. I really look forward to it. It's hard work, and I've got a lot of buddies that help me put it together, and I couldn't get it done without them.
Although donations aren't required, Paul has raised nearly $42,000 for the charity. He enjoys bringing joy to families each and every year and hopes to continue doing this for years to come.
Hopefully it's brought joy to their lives, a little bit of happiness during the holiday season.
For Sarah Miguel, this has been Addison Smith.
That Christmas spirit is really impressive.
Oh, yeah.
I usually don't put up my Christmas tree until about a week into December. So.
Yeah, well, okay, so there's some people in our neighborhood where, like, when you drive through the neighborhood, they put up, like, all their Christmas lights, like, November 1st.
Yeah.
Like, right after Halloween, they're like, okay, I'm going to go.
Nope.
It's like, you got to go one holiday at a time.
After Thanksgiving, for sure.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving's got to be a holiday, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, don't go anywhere. Right after the break, we'll have an exciting story, such as the look into the annual Health Expo and your favorite word from the halls.
Something for people of different backgrounds, different diversity, and I feel like we just need a place where they can come together in order to discuss our issues that we're facing.
The Ravens battle the Cougars on December 20th. Watch live coverage starting at 5:30 p.m. on Facebook, YouTube, and TV 25, where there's always something on. The new year is coming up, and many of us are planning to hit the gym after the holidays. But are you getting the correct training? Grace Jerzak tells us the importance of having a certified trainer.
I do believe that clients should have certified trainers. I think it's kind of a no-brainer. Why would you want somebody in the field, well, that doesn't know what they're doing?
Alicia Whitmore, a personal fitness trainer at Genesis Health Club, has gone through years of school and training to get her certification. Although today, more and more trainers without certification are able to acquire jobs.
I really truly feel it's extremely important to have a certification or a degree in exercise science. It's just when somebody comes, like a client comes wanting a personal trainer, it's really important that they receive a personal trainer who has a correct education and background and experience training other clients, because it's a huge liability to the gym, and also it's just a risk for the client to have a personal trainer who doesn't have any experience.
Many people who attend Genesis don't have personal trainers, but choose to work out with friends instead.
Personal trainer be certified because, I don't want to get hurt or they not know what they're doing to where I get hurt. But, I work out with people sometimes and they aren't certified, but they teach me new stuff, so it can go either way.
1 in 3 Americans are obese, and in 2012, 267,000 Americans had personal trainers. Nowadays, more and more personal trainers are allowed to be uncertified. Whitmore believes new clients should be more aware of who they are training with and their trainer's certification.
They might just automatically think that you're certified, and there may not be any repercussions unless they were to get injured,
But say they were to get injured, they'd be like, oh my gosh, well, I thought that you knew a lot about this stuff, or and they could end up blaming you. Hopefully they wouldn't, but that is a risk that you could be taking.
This has been Grace Jurzak. Stay safe, Ravens.
The annual Health Expo was held last week for the PE and weights classes here at ONW. This is a great opportunity for students to expand their knowledge on physical health and safety. Let's take it to Lina Sattarin and Ainsley Heisey for the Inside Scoop.
Hey Ravens, every year the PE and weights classes hold a health expo where students get educated on first aid, nutrition, and physical education.
5, 6, 7,
On Friday, December 8th, students explored the responsibilities and experienced hands-on learning about personal health.
This is our 4th annual health fair, and what we're trying to do is trying to get community partners involved in healthy ways that our Raven family can be involved and learn from. And what we do is we try to get our kids involved hands-on. They're doing CPR right here to my right. We have our personal trainer, Steve Hawkins. We have Children's Mercy, Garmin's teaching about technology. We have a group called Eat Fit Go that's teaching kids the right way to eat, what to put in their body. And we're just trying to give them as much knowledge to go out there and live a healthy lifestyle and maybe find a job or an interest that is outside of our classroom.
The PE students involved all received knowledge on the topic of health, and they all had different parts of the Health Expo that they enjoyed the most.
My favorite part was probably the police officer because he showed us like all of his like weapons and stuff, and it was pretty cool.
My favorite part was learning about the digestive part because it was really cool and he taught us a lot about digestive.
For Ainsley Heisey, this has been Lina Sattarin. Now back to the desk.
When you go see a musical here at Olathe Northwest, some might forget about the hard work put in by the Pit Orchestra. They're rehearsing just as hard as the performers to help put on the show. Let's take it to Brett Payne for the story.
In theater, performances not only rely on excellent acting and set design, but the proper soundtrack to support it. To reach the best quality, the sound can't be played by any device or recording, but live. Meet the unsung heroes of the theater, the Pit Orchestra.
So there is a certain amount of commitment that we like and a certain expectation that we have that these are going to be difficult books and they're going to need to take work in rehearsals at the school as well as outside of rehearsals.
The work put into each performance is truly remarkable. Each member's efforts paid off in the latest musical, Guys and Dolls.
You have to give like a lot of time into practicing, and then especially once rehearsals hit, rehearsals with the cast, it's really like almost all day long. But it's also like a lot of fun and it's cool.
Compared to the performers, the Pit Orchestra remains relatively hidden. We asked members of the group if they think that the Pit gets the appreciation it deserves.
I think they're pretty adequately appreciated. I think there are a lot of people that might not see what goes in behind the scenes.
It would be nice for people to be like, hey, thanks for volunteering all your time to do this.
You can check out the Pit Orchestra in action in their next performance. But for now, thanks for watching.
With so many students here at Northwest, there is no limit of the amount of talent that is possible. Roan and Sydney take a closer look into one student's unique hobby.
With over 2,000 students at Northwest, student interest is often piqued by things you wouldn't normally think of.
I started doing silks about 5 years ago because my current dance teacher was an aerial silks performer, so she brought her silks to the studio one day, and I guess that's when I fell in love with it. I fell in love with the uniqueness of it because not many people know what it is or do it or whatever.
With performances all over KC, junior Lina Sattarin is able to show off her extraordinary talent throughout the city.
I've performed many places. We do a lot of outdoor performances at First Fridays downtown at the Crossroads, and we have 3 shows a year that we perform at Union Station at the stage there. So it's honestly just a different feel every time, whether I'm just performing my 3-minute piece or whether I'm performing a whole show with my whole company.
Junior Lily Beckwith, a good friend of Lina's, has enjoyed her performances and even been able to experience silks firsthand.
I think it's really cool that Lina does aerial silks because it's not very common, and she's also really good at it, and she's insanely talented, so it's really interesting to see what she can do.
The satisfaction of performing this unique hobby brings much content to Sattarin's life.
I think it's super rewarding when I perform to hear the applause because there's honestly not a better feeling in the world than being on stage and hearing applause for something that you've worked so hard at. So I really love performing silks for people because people do get really amazed by it because it's not something you see every day.
For ONW Now, this has been Roan Stanley and Sydney Weeks. Now back to the desk.
With new improvements being made to the Raven Daily, the sports information team held the first ever ONW Sports Press Conference.
Hey Ravens, I'm Sydney Weeks here at Northwest's first ever Media Day, giving you a preview into winter sports. Let's take a look.
Hello and welcome to the first ever Olathe Northwest Winter Sports Media Day.
This past Thursday, your fellow Ravens took on the task of creating a press conference for all 5 winter sports.
We had some questions. We had Jack hosting it, kind of giving us some information, some background. I think to put it on, it took a lot of hard work and dedication.
Jeffrey Cooper, head Converge teacher here at Northwest, tells us a little about the event and how the students put it together.
It took a ton of preparation. I mean, we had to communicate with the coaches, the players. We had to organize how we were what day we were gonna do it, which was a hassle. But it was we finally got a date, and so all the kids in the class decided to put questions together. We had to get food. We had to make sure that everybody's happy. It was really hard to do that.
Students in econ were in charge of the whole day and were assigned different jobs such as reporters and moderators to make the whole thing come together.
I did absolutely nothing. It's all the students, really. I just kind of asked them to do this, and they put it together, and they made me look good. So
there were a lot of challenges along the way, but overall, the day exceeded the students' and the teachers' expectations, and we are all looking forward to this event to continue across the years.
The event itself went smoothly, and I think it went really well. I think we asked good questions, the coaches gave good answers, we learned a lot, and I'd say the hardest part was definitely pulling it all together, reserving the space, and setting it all up this morning.
For ONW Now, this has been Cooper Kate, Gabby Thomas, and Sydney Weeks.
With the holiday season approaching, Adam Cook and Roan Stanley went around the halls just to find out how much Northwest students know about the most wonderful time of the year. Here's word from the halls edition.
Has anyone ever told you you look like Post Malone? Yes. I'll start easy. What day is Christmas on?
December 25th.
December 25th.
All right, what day is Christmas on?
Sorry, 24th.
Good work. How many days of Christmas are there?
1.
How many days of Christmas are there?
25.
What did my true love give to me on the first one?
A tennis ball.
A partridge in a pear tree.
Partridge in a pear tree.
How many reindeer does Santa have? About 8.
Just Rudolph. 10. 7.
12.
8.
8? So you're going to exclude Rudolph like everybody else?
No, wait.
9. 9.
Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, Blitzen, Rudolph. 9.
I was going to say name them, but you've got that down. How many days of Hanukkah are there?
4. 3. 10.
7.
I'm going to go with 7.
17.
It's 11, right? Because it's it's 7. It's 7 days. It's 7 days.
No, it's 8 because they got 8 on.
There's an odd number,
There's
bro.
8 on the candle.
Then
it's 9.
Oh,
if it's not 8, then it's 9.
8.
8 days of Hanukkah. What? I don't know if there's a Hanukkah. There is 21.
12. Not quite.
13?
Wrong direction.
11?
Okay, I'm trying to think the Adam Sandler song. Put on your yarmulke. 12. 8 crazy nights?
How does Buddy the Elf answer the phone?
What? Oh, I don't know. I have no idea.
He sings.
Buddy the Elf, what's your favorite color?
What's your favorite Christmas song?
Grandma got run over by a reindeer.
Probably Jingle Bells.
Can you sing it for me?
No.
Yes, you can.
No.
Jingle bells.
Sing it for me.
Jingle bells.
Gotta get into it. Come on.
Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle bell rock.
What's your favorite Christmas song?
Probably Carol of the Bells.
Sing it for me. Come on.
Oh gosh. Hark, cowbell bells, all seem to say, throw cares away, Christmas is here, words of good cheer.
Santa Claus goes straight to the ghetto.
Can you sing it for me?
I got to get the chorus. Oh, it's a long interview. Go ahead. Santa Claus. Go straight to the ghetto. All right, yeah, I know that one. Yeah, that my grandma played that all the time.
What's your favorite Christmas movie?
It's got to be National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation and Chevy Chase.
I love that. What's your favorite line from the movie? Give me whatever you got.
How about looks great, little full, lot of sap?
Christmas Vacation.
All right, what's your favorite line?
Like the sledding one where he goes like 3, 2, 1, and he says like blast off or something like that.
Either Polar Express or Christmas Story.
Polar Express. All right, give me a line. Favorite Christmas line?
All Aboard.
I'd say Polar Express.
All right, give me a line from each.
Choo choo.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose.
No.
And if you ever saw it, you would even say it glows. Like the light bulb.
Keep it going, let's go.
Ever reindeer used to laugh and call him names like Pinocchio. And never let poor Rudolph join in any reindeer. Like
That's all we have for this week. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at ONW_Raven Daily and on Snapchat at ONW Now.
For the Raven Daily, I'm Ben Whitney alongside Riley Kramer. Have a great weekend, Ravens, and don't forget to study for next week's finals.